Hi, I'm Jim Thompson, and I really want to welcome you to this program. It'll last probably about 25 to 30 minutes, and we're going to talk about how you can get more and better referrals. I know I put in the link to this program that referrals are simple, and they are. Getting referrals is very simple if you know the secrets to getting referrals. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next 15, 20, 25 minutes. So I hope that you will listen. And if you need be, go back and listen to it again because there's going to be a lot of information. I'm going to go very fast, but I really am very appreciative that you are taking the time out of your busy day to listen to what I have to say. No, I'm not saying that attorneys need to go to confession. What this kind of illustrates, and sometimes I like using visuals, is you've got the attorney in the middle, and he's getting referrals from both on the right, a client, and on the left, I don't know whether you can see it, from another attorney. Simple as that. This comes as quite an eye opener to many of the attorneys I speak with. That is, there are two distinct classes out there that can give you referrals. I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't realize this until I really started studying referrals, and that is why I wrote both of these books. One is how to get referrals from clients, and the other is how to get referrals from other attorneys. They are two distinct ways that you do this. There are some similarities, but basically the tactics and the strategies are different, and we're going to share some of those with you. As I mentioned, most attorneys are always telling me they get most of their new business by way of referrals. So then, why don't most lawyers get their share of referrals? Why aren't they getting more referrals? This is the simple answer, and I know it's true. Attorneys don't know how. They don't know how to get referrals, so what do? They do nothing. Or they hope and pray that someone will refer them. But as far as being proactive in getting referrals, most attorneys do not do anything. One of the things I like to talk about is what I call or refer to as the accidental referral. And I don't like to read off a slide, but I think in this particular case, it may drive home a point. And this is the accidental referral. For many lawyers, referrals are a coincidence, a fortuitous happenstance, a chance, or maybe just luck. But above all, they are a pleasant surprise. It is all at once delightful and mysterious. They are thrilled to have the easiest clients of their life fall right into their laps. But in reality, they do not even know how or why it happened. In many cases, they don't even know where the referral came from or when they will get another referral. So maybe this is a good time to ask you, are you getting accidental referrals? Do you know where your referrals come from? Do you have a plan to get referrals? In essence, how are you doing as far as getting referrals? And I think you need to just take a minute and think about that. How is your practice growing by way of referrals? And if you aren't getting the number of referrals you think you should be getting, and each practice is different, then you need to start thinking about changing what you're doing. I mentioned that there are two distinct classes, if you will, of referrals from clients and referrals from other attorneys. But having the proper referral mindset is a must for getting referrals from both of those classes. And here's what a referral mindset is. And I want you to think about this. You embrace referrals as the primary way to build your practice. It is a way of thinking. Everything you do will promote getting clients through referrals. Now, I want to make sure you understand. You're going to do other things to get clients, to get people into your practice. But when you start getting referrals, it's going to become your primary way to build your practice. Wouldn't it be great to be able to say to someone, uh, I take new clients by referral only? Think about the medical providers that have said that. What would that do to your reputation when you were able to say, I only take new clients by referral only? I mentioned that there is a significant difference between client referrals and attorney referrals, and I want to talk about each and the strategies and the tactics that you can use for each. Again, there are some crossovers, but generally speaking, as I mentioned, getting referrals from clients and getting referrals from other attorneys, they are basically distinct. I've talked about your referral mindset in a general way. But with clients, and I want you to pay very close attention to this, with clients, you have to basically change your client's referral mindset. I want you to think about something. Your clients generally, unless maybe they're business clients, but generally, your clients do not understand that you want referrals. As strange as that may sound, they think you're doing great as an attorney, and they don't even think about giving you referrals unless, of course, you ask them. But we're going to get into that in a minute. But the bottom line is, so if your clients don't understand that you want referrals, you are going to have to be the one that changes your client's mindset. I can change your mindset, but I can't change your client's mindset. You have to figure out how you are going to change your client's mindset so that they will understand that you want referrals and how they can give you referrals. And we're going to touch briefly on that. But again, I want you to be thinking about this. Your clients, usually when they walk out the door, they may think you hung the moon. And they may say, you know what, I will refer everybody I come in contact with to you, and that's great. And they're out the door, and 10 minutes later, they forget all about you. And that happens. Trust me, it happens. And they don't do it on purpose. It's just the way life is. I know some of you have probably heard the adage that you have to have 3 words if you want referrals, or 3 words that are connected with getting referrals. That's to know, like, and trust. And I'm not going to go into each of those right now. But there's a fourth word that if you want referrals from your clients, the word is teach. You are going to have to teach them how to give you referrals. It's not all that difficult, but it's something that you must do if, in fact, you want referrals from your clients. What I want to do is explore some ways to get referrals. That is, how can you change your client's mindset? Here is a brief overview because of time limitations when it comes to getting referrals from your clients. I know that might sound redundant from the previously what I said, but I want to just give you a quick, brief overview of things that you can do to get referrals from your clients. But first, here is a myth I want to explore with you. Great service will not get you referrals. Just because you do a great job for a client, that will not ensure that you're going to get referrals from that client. Now, obviously, if you don't do a good job, it's going to ensure that you won't get referrals. But just doing a good job, I don't know how many times I hear an attorney say, if I just do a good job for a client, they're going to refer me to everyone. It ain't going to happen. Trust me. As I mentioned, one of the first things you're going to have to do if you want referrals from clients and even potential clients is to let them know that you want referrals. You're going to have to teach them that you want referrals. And one of the best methods I have seen of doing this, and you're in essence asking for referrals, but you're not even asking for referrals, is to use your voicemail, your outgoing voicemail. And it takes all of about 3 minutes to put this on, and it goes something like this. Hi, this is Jim. If you were referred, please let me know who referred you so that I might thank them right away every time someone hears that message, be it a client, a new client, or anyone. They're going to start that thinking, oh, hey, Jim wants referrals. He's thanking us for referrals. I want to give him referrals. The referral mindset is beginning. It's not going to happen overnight, but the more somebody hears that message, the more they're going to understand that you want referrals. One of the things that I see so often is that attorneys will abandon their clients. And I'm not talking in the legal terms of abandoning a client over a case or something of that nature, but once they finish with a matter, they basically forget all about their client and they go on to the next one. Hey, call up your past clients, have a coffee or lunch with them, send them a note. We'll talk about that in much more detail, but you know, they've developed a know, like, and trust factor with you. So why don't you use that to your benefit and to your client's benefit? I really like this slide, so I want to just kind of use it to drive home what I just said. And you can see this. Here's this little penguin. He's the client. You've done all kinds of stuff. The client loves you. Look at he's hanging around there. And here you are looking through that telescope or whatever you're looking through, looking for that next client. And here's the one client that loves you. And you're just totally ignoring them. So I want to impress this slide on your memory. So when you're thinking about, you know, getting business from clients, think about the clients that you have already done business with. And here's the other thing, and I'm just going to touch on it, and I don't have time to really go into it, but what do you think the long-term value of a client is? Think about that. Maybe I'll have time to touch on that, maybe I'll have to do it in another day, but think about that. When I first put the slide up, I was going to go into each of these in great detail, a questionnaire, an exit interview, testimonial letters. But I found out that by doing so, I was going to spend probably an extra 3 minutes on this video, and I want to try and keep it as close to 30 minutes as possible. But I'm going to promise you this. I'm going to do another video shortly, and I'm going to go into depth on some of these things we talked about with regard to getting more and better clients. And I think you'll really understand the value of questionnaires, exit interviews, and testimonial letters. This is another slide that I wanted to go in depth on, and then I realized I was just taking too much time. I wanted to talk about having lunch with a client, but a totally different way of having lunch with a client. And also talking about teaching. And I'm not talking about teaching your clients to give you referrals, but a whole different avenue that you can approach with clients. So again, I'm going to promise you I'm going to do another video very shortly, and I'm going to include these two topics on going to lunch with a client and teaching your clients. And I think you'll find that these will be fascinating ways to get you out in front of clients. This is one of my favorite ways to generate more clients. And I'm not talking about becoming a family practice lawyer. I'm talking about becoming the family lawyer. And it's rather involved. It would take probably 5 minutes at least to discuss what I mean by the family lawyer. So I'm going to save this for another day when I do the next video, and I'm really going to go in depth on the family lawyer, because this is a way you can build your practice from one client and letting him know, let that client know that you want to become the family lawyer, and that anything that happens to him in the future, or any member of his family, his friends, or whatever, you are there for him. He needs to come and see you, and you'll see how this works when I go in depth with it. We've talked a little bit about getting referrals from your clients. Now, what I want to do is change the way you think about getting referrals from other lawyers. I want you to think about what I said before about clients and clients who know, like, love you, think you're the greatest. They may never, ever come in contact with someone they can refer to you. However, this is just the opposite with attorneys. And again, this depends on the type of practice that they have. But attorneys, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, again, depending on the type of practice, have somebody that comes into their office that they cannot help. Somebody, you're a labor lawyer, right? And somebody sends you a personal injury case. You have no idea what to do with a personal injury case or a divorce case. So you have two alternatives. And that can come from any, a former client may think you're the greatest lawyer in the world, doesn't know what you do, sends you a divorce case or a personal or a employment case or whatever the case may be. Bottom line is that you get that person in your office and you're sitting there. You have two alternatives, right? You can either say, I'm sorry, I don't handle those type of cases, and go to your local bar association or whatever. Or you can say, let me refer you to a good friend of mine who handles that particular type of case. So this is where you need to be aware that you have a wonderful opportunity to refer cases to other attorneys that is not going to have any impact on your type of practice, and it's actually going to help you because you are helping that particular client. So attorneys, just because they're attorneys, if you will, come in contact with people that need help, as opposed to clients coming in contact with people that need your particular services. Generally speaking, an attorney knows what you do. Now, he may know you're a personal injury attorney, he may know you're an IP attorney or whatever, and he has a general idea. But think about this. Your clients may not know all that you do. And the reason I say that, you may be a personal injury case or attorney and you handled an automobile case, but you really are a medical malpractice attorney. And what is the worst thing that can happen to you? You see a client that, you just thinks you hung the moon. You see him 6 weeks from now, a month from now, or whatever the case may be. And, you're walking down the street. Hey, John, how you doing? He says, oh, God, you won't believe my mom was in the hospital. Doctor screwed up an operation. And here you are thinking medical malpractice case. And come to find out, he gives it to another attorney. John, I thought you liked me. Well, Jim, I do. I loved everything you did for me. Well, why didn't you come to me with your medical malpractice case? I didn't know you did that. That's the worst thing. And I'll tell you, I had a personal experience with that when I was a young lawyer just starting out. But the bottom line is, most attorneys have a good idea what you do, so they know who to refer a potential client to you. This is a really interesting thing about referrals from clients. A client will go to an attorney, and that attorney can't help them. So the attorney says, I am going to send you, or have you go talk to a real good friend of mine who is an attorney that can handle what you need. Now, that client came to you because he trusted you. He had that trust in you. When he is referred out to another attorney, that trust in you is transferred to the other attorney. So, you don't have to worry about, fees. You don't have to worry about whether it's a good referral. You don't have to worry about a bunch of things, because when an attorney refers you, or attorney refers a client to you, the bottom line is that's gold. And having said it's gold, what normally happens, and it depends on the type of attorney, it depends on the practice, etc. But there's referral fees involved. Now, in small cases, there may not be a referral fee involved, but the big referral fees, if you think about it, come from attorneys in the personal injury realm. And I know of attorneys, and it's happened to me many years ago, and they weren't quite as significant as they are now. But I know of attorneys right now that every once in a while will get a check for $50,000 to $100,000 from an attorney saying, here is your referral fee on the case you referred to me, we settled it for $5 million, or whatever the case may be. So attorneys understand the referral process, and they understand where referrals might be made. But even saying that there's no referrals to be made, say in a corporation, an attorney charges $1,500 for a corporation, he may or may not send you a referral fee. That's up to each attorney. It's not that significant. But hopefully, if you send an attorney a referral, that attorney hopefully will return the favor and refer you. It's all based on trust. It's all based on the fact that you trust this attorney. You're going to refer cases to him. He's going to refer cases back to you. So the logical question then is, if referrals from attorneys are so great, why don't attorneys get more referrals from other attorneys? Rather than talk in the negative, I'd rather talk in the positive. That is, why is it that attorneys who do get their share of referrals, why do they get them? What is it they do to get these referrals? One of the things they actually do is they work at getting referrals. They put into practice some of the things I have been talking about and will talk about. They actually work at getting referrals. They just don't sit back and wait for that accidental referral. Lawyers who get referrals from other attorneys simply know a lot of other attorneys that they refer clients to, and then the attorneys refer clients back to them. One of the things I talk about when I talk to attorneys about knowing other attorneys is I'll just ask them, do you know other attorneys? And obviously the answers are, sure I do. I know a lot of them. They know their names. They know what firm they might be in. They know what their specialty is. They know maybe where they went to law school, maybe where they went to college. But do they really know them? Now, when I say that attorneys know a lot of other attorneys, I want to dig a little bit deeper and let you know what I mean by that. And simply this, do you really know them? Do you know their spouse's name and their kid's name? Do you know what social, cultural, charitable organizations they belong to? Do you know what they like to do for fun and hobbies? Now, most likely, you know their names, obviously, and you know probably the firm they was in, and maybe where they went to law school. But do you really know them? And one of the reasons this is so significant is knowing spouses, knowing kids. Hey, it's happened before. Some of their kids are now in business. Maybe they own companies. You just don't know that. Social, cultural, charitable organizations they belong to. Find out what they like to do. Who are they donating money to or donating time to? Maybe it's something that you would like to get involved in. Maybe you can talk to an attorney and say, I understand that you do a lot of work with veterans. How can I get involved in that type of an organization? Do you know what they like to do for fun, for hobbies? And, hey, every once in a while attorneys do have some fun, but that's what I'm talking about. Do you really know them? And most of the attorneys that I talk to, when I pose this question, the answer is, oh, sure, I know a lot of attorneys. And then I go, do you really know them? And that's when I drill down and, all of a sudden it becomes evident that they really don't know that many attorneys. So, where do you find lawyers? There are many places that you can find lawyers, and I'm sure you can think of some of them, and some may be new to you. And again, this is another whole area that's going to take some time to explain. But simply put, you got bar associations, you got bar section meetings, and by that I mean don't go to your section meeting, go to section meetings where you might find lawyers that can refer clients to you. Speaking to lawyers about ways lawyers can improve their practice, shared office spaces, the virtual lawyers. introductions, lawyers right under your nose. We're going to explore these in, like I said, the next video that I do, we're going to talk about a lot more, we're going to talk a lot more in depth about some of these ways that you can find and some of the places you can find lawyers. I think this slide is pretty self-explanatory. Surround yourself with those on the same mission as you have. That is growing your law practice. So now you've spent this time getting referrals and learning how to get referrals, and you're starting to build your referral practice. So what do you really need to do to cement those relationships? And it's right here. The fortune is in the follow-up. Again, this is another area where I really don't have time to delve into because there's a whole system, a whole process that you can do, that you can use to make sure that once you get that first referral, you're going to continue to get more and more and more referrals from those referral sources. So I'm going to do, again, another video on how you can follow up, why it's important, and some of the things that you really need to be doing once you get that first referral and every referral after that. I really want to thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation, and I hope that I have provided some value to you. Now, as I mentioned, as I went through the presentation, there are certain areas that I am going to have to maybe delve into a little bit more. So I am going to prepare 3 more very short videos on getting referrals from clients, getting referrals from attorneys, and what you must do to follow up. And I will be putting those out in the next day or so, and I hope you will take the 15 or 20 minutes to look at each video, because based on what I've talked to other attorneys about with regard to some of these areas, there is some valuable information. Not everything is going to be valuable to you, but I'm sure there's going to be enough information that I will share with you that it will lead you on the path to getting more and better referrals. So I look forward to sharing these videos with you, and if you have any questions, send me an email at jet@lawyersmarketingresource.com, and I will try to answer any questions that you may have.